The first game, Friday night football. As we see the ball bounce well. Bigland's first tap for the season. Heads towards his goal. Scrub of a handball coming out. Coming through pretty hard there. It's the Eagles half-forward line. Strong and aggressive at the play. Taken by two Port Adelaide players and put to ground. Well, the Magpies, Tim, have had a very good pre-season. You get to lose a trial match. So it'll be interesting to see how they do come up tonight. In there's McGuinness. Going down the ground was Colville. Players just jumping in, eager to get their first touch of the football. Fraser's in there. Biglands again throws his weight around. Can't break the tackle from Fraser. And again, the man in white will come in and ball up.
Bigland's mark greatly improved, free of injury. His form in the pre-season competition for the Crows almost gave him a game in the opening round.
Picked up quickly. That was like Tregenza trying to get a boot to ball. Quickly kicked off the ground by Brosnan up forward. It's come off hands, beautifully taken. Good work by Shirley out the back door to Rogers, and he just keeps going, doesn't he? What a veteran. Finds the touch there just inside the line. Made it by about 2 inches, I reckon, and just fell in front of Andrew Beveridge. Now, what can you tell us about him, David?
Tasmanian, solid, midfielder, ruck rover type. Eagles have recruited him for a bit of toughness. He goes pretty hard at it.
Ball at half forward. Biglands has won about every tap just so far. Tries to break the tackle on Ricky O'Loughlin. He took him pretty well. Tries to carry him over the line. That'll be done particularly well by Scott Hahn. Gets the ball over the boundary line. We'll have another throw in.
Just thinking, Tim, whether Andrew Rogers at 35 would be the oldest player in the competition. Perhaps Scotty Lee, turning 36 this year, might just pip him.
I think Scotty Lee may even be in his 38th year, so we'll find out the exact details on that, but he's definitely the oldest player in the SNFL at the moment. Coming through very well is Fruin on his left foot. Tries to get it up towards the wing position. It's going to be Clayton first on it for the Magpies. Quick kick around his body. Good clash there. Brosnan and Jamie Tate punches the ball over the line. It's going to be very interesting to see him play this season. I do rate this player.
Now, I heard your comment earlier about him being a McGarry medal chance, but he's not that flashy type that catches the umpire's eye. To my way of thinking, Tate is a hard, tough defender.
Sorry, mate, I was thinking about myself.
Ugrinic back to Tate, back to Rogers. Rogers will come onto his left leg and see a player out wide. That's the direction he goes in. Good mark again taken by Beveridge. He gets back quickly. Looks up towards centre half forward. Just chips the ball off. Not a good kick there by Beveridge. And a good mark. Was taken. And the ball's kicked through by McGuinness. McGuinness' kick also wasn't well directed. And back there for the Eagles is Fruin. So Fruin just looking for a couple of options. Goes wide with the football. First there will be Manfield. Manfield gets around his player, then takes off, backs himself, and kicks the ball up towards half forward. First there, 47 is Gallagher, another new player for the Eagles.
He was there last year, Mark. He spent a fair bit of time with the Crows, and the Eagles rate him highly as a recruit, and I think so too do the Crows.
John McCarthy, we're coming through. Ball thrown in, half forward flank for the Eagles, high ball. Over the top there was Chalmers. Going back, 36 is Carter. In again there is Fraser, quickly onto the boot. Running hard to cut this football off. Again was Beveridge, covering a fair bit of territory. Coming towards centre half forward, a good kick and a good mark. 13 is Pearce. He too very eager to get the ball moving forward. Orman Allen reads it well. Punches the ball, good spoil by Orman Allen. Ball comes inside, a chance for the Eagles to register their first score. It could be the first major by Kluzak. It is. The two fingers go up for the first major to the Eagles. The first score for season 2000. As we see the Eagles put the first goal on.
Interesting, McCarthy was caught flat-footed, but Sikalella really just held it. Clayton didn't quite wrap him up. But Kluzak, whose pre-season form has been terrific, kicked 11 goals in one trial, 5 in another, and the Eagles are prepared to leave him at full forward and work with him. They know that he can kick goals. 11
goals against the Bays. That was outstanding in a trial game. I know you don't know what happens in those trials, but he's obviously in some sort of form and confidence. Back in the middle of the ground, 4.5 minutes into the first term, the Eagles lead one straight goal to Port yet to score. Chalmers gets the tap down. Quick little give. Orman Allen ends up with it. Nice hairdo. Gets it on to Fraser. Left-footed kick up towards centre half forward. Fruin dropped the mark he probably should have taken. Good work on the deck by Shirley. That's Floriani. Quick little handball out. Coming out the wing, Ugrinic.
The Eagles are getting it too easily out of defence, Tim.
True there. Comes up towards McCarthy again. Holton on him. Tries to take a one-handed mark. Doesn't quite do that, but does the tackle particularly well. and took Manfield over the line, and we'll have a throw in at the Eagles half-forward line. They're kicking to the northern end here at Footy Park. Chalmers starting to win some taps in the boundary throw-in situation. Sikalella easily around Polton. Left-footed pass, tried to find Colville, just a bit wide of him. Fraser double backs for a second tackle. Sikalella again, backs up. He's looking fit, gets it back. That's very, very intelligent play, and finds Pearce about 30 metres out. Pearce goes again with a quick pass. It's going to be set up. Well done, Nigel Feegert, coming straight down the middle of the ground. Just had too much air on the kick. Brosnan from behind was not going to get hold of that one. And that's a good mark taken on the defence by Robert Shirley.
Darren Holland really had to come at that ball for the Eagles, Tim, and waited for it.
Shirley heads towards centre half forward. The Magpies had the numbers back there. Again, Fraser in hard. With him also there is Chalmers. Coming through tough was Carter. Got the handball out. The kick wasn't good. It finds Clayton. Clayton just quite happy just to see the ball over the line. So the Magpies, as I mentioned, had a great pre-season. Trial form has been great. Eagles too have experimented. Down, McGuinness couldn't quite pick it up. Again, Clayton quickly onto the right boot, comes forward. Out hard as Floriani, didn't pick it up. This allows Carter in. He just sockers the ball about 15, 20 metres. And again, the ball out over the line.
I think he thought then he'd go forward to Steed, and the ball just slewed off a little bit. The idea was right, just didn't quite get the application down pat.
Orman Allen over the top. Good hands, Ricky O'Loughlin to Tregenza with better hands. Into Phil McGuinness, who's had good trial form. Up towards Phil Smith, the full forwards. Come over the back, beautifully picked up by Binky. Onto his right boot, but just couldn't quite straighten it up, and registers a point for the Magpies. It's their first score in season 2000. They're 1 point straight. The Eagles 1 goal, 6.
Mark, I thought Fruin really has blanketed Binky. They've had 4 attacks on the contest, and Fruin has beaten him to every one, but that time Binky just read it better.
Plenty of pushing and shoving here on the half-forward flank. The Eagles are just huddling up. Now they break through it free. Pearce is by himself. Paul decides to come out wide. He's got a running Floriani, goes over the top of O'Loughlin. Floriani should take this and run with it. The ball will sit. Good work, good run down there by O'Loughlin. Fakes the handball. A little bit of cleverness there by O'Loughlin. Left leg heads towards the top of the square. Coming back. Great mark there. Philip Smith, the Magpies. Former reserves player. Age 21, his first game in the seniors.
It's the big fella from Whyalla, Tim, isn't it?
It is, and he spent a lot of time in the reserves last year, and really did show glimpses of form, but this year's trial form's been excellent.
Give some credit to Trent Orman-Allen, by the way. He just collapsed the pack, took out all the opposition and allowed Smith to mark. Very intelligent.
He does it a lot. He really does it.
A lot of things that don't get picked up.
Well done yourself, David, for picking it up.
Well, they trail by 5 points. This will put him in front. Is the kick good? I think it is. That's his first major in senior football. Could be his first kick as well. So 1-1-7, the Magpies. The Eagles just on the solitary goal.
Philip Smith, 192 centimetres, but 100 kilos. He's going to take a power of shifting. But look at the way O'Loughlin sets this up. Just streaks away. Nobody comes at him. Watch Trent Orman-Allen. Bang. Shepherded Shirley out. Took him out of the contest and allowed Smith to kick with his first kick in league football. A goal. Joins an elite band.
I was just about to say, a very special group of players, isn't it, that get their first kick in league footy and kick goals. Back in the centre of the ground, though, it's Biglands versus Chalmers. Biglands probably got the better of that one. Tregenza trying to get his hands on it. Chalmers kicks it off the deck, comes out towards the wing position where Trent Orman-Allen tries to get hold of it. It's good work by Brosnan, taps it in the path of O'Loughlin. Didn't quite get hold of it, though. The Eagles' defence desperate. Tregenza, he's had 3 or 4 touches already. Up towards Phil Smith. Kicked the last goal. He's been tackled well. Over the top of Rogers' head with a handball. Finds Fraser. Fraser tries to get one out. Set him up. Alfie Steve got run down by Floriani. Jamie Tape on the last line of defence. Gets taken high. It'll be allowed to be played on. And the Eagles will get it out of the fence quite easily through Hall. To their skipper, Rogers. Just keeps on keeping on. He's an amazing player. David Gallagher. You've got to rate this bloke. Really like him. Some of the games he played with the Crows last year. At half back now. Up towards the wing position. Over the top, Carter a bit early. Beautifully rowed by Sikalella. He's had 3 or 4 touches already. On his right foot. Up towards the half-back flank. The half-forward flank, it's Colville. Weaves in and out. Nice little handball inboard. Along the ground, that was a mongrel sort of a kick, but it might come off to McCarthy. Couldn't get it off his boot. And it will register another point for the Eagles. They got a 1-1-7 to draw. Port Adelaide 1-1-7. And it's 10 minutes into this first term in the SNFL season 2000.
Ball comes out wide. The running player is Jared Poulton. Foul listed. A good kick there by Poulton comes wide.
You won't see a much better kick than that, Mark, on the run, under pressure.
Well weighted. O'Loughlin set up the last goal going forward to Smith. The kick's high. Good work there by Binky. McGuinness keeps or tries to keep the football in. Couldn't quite. Again, we'll see a throw in.
You just saw the benefit of Jamie Tate going across, having a few years in the AFL, Mark. High above the pack, thumped the ball straight to the line. Just knew exactly where it was going.
Bigland's good use of the body. Again, players really are showing a fair bit of desperation out at the moment. The temperature is around about 30 degrees. It's a hot, warm, sultry Friday night. It's being well supported. It's going to be a big season of SNFL football. Good work inside. Steed comes out wide. McGuinness. He loves kicking goals. This time just strays it. Another behind of the Magpies. So they move on to 1-2-7. The Eagles 1-2-8. The Eagles 1-1-7.
Alfie Steed, Tim, very clever then with his hands. He missed most of last year with a knee injury. Seems to have recovered pretty well, but I like the way he's got those very quick hands and he holds the ball in tight and then releases it.
He's just one of those terriers. He just gets on the ball and just won't let go of it. But Alfie's still looking for a good 2,000 after that knee reconstruction last year. Ugrenic with the ball now, moves it up towards half forward for the Eagles. Good battle this Polton and Colville. It's been probably 2 contests each so far, so we'll look forward to that one throughout the Friday evening. Nearly 12 minutes into the first term. The ABC bringing you the SNFL exclusively in the year 2000. Point the difference here at Footy Park. Chalmers over the top. Colville almost just gave that to Beveridge. Quick hands, Gallagher. He'll come up towards centre half forward. The good kick, good spot. Great Brad Kluzak.
Plays tall, doesn't he?
He really does. How tall would he be, honestly?
He's a Collingwood 6-footer.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't give us one of those lies.
He says he's 186 centimetres. I'd just like to measure him out.
Yeah.
Because that is a true Collingwood 6-footer, isn't it?
He is. And
186 is what, 6'1" or 2?
But you're right, if he plays tall, then that's important. Coming in 40 metres out. Dead in front. It's a good leg. It's a good leg. That's a goal. That's his second and the Eagles' second. They move to 2-1-13, leading Port Adelaide 1-2-8, 5-point margin, 13 points into the first term here at Footy Park.
You're liking him a little bit to Mondra. It's a big tag, but he's got a good spring, terrific set of hands, and he runs pretty well at the ball, and he's athletic.
I was just looking at this year compared to last year, Damon. I just thought he was a little bit heavy last year, maybe
in the rear end.
In the rear end, but this year he just
he's
does look like he has trimmed down a fair bit. We're back in the middle of the ground. The Eagles 2-1-13, Magpies 1-2-8. Chalmers takes it out, back to Tregenza. Not named in the budget, but has lined up here tonight. Comes back, Pearce. Very clever football. One of the favourites for last year's McGarry medal. Looking forward to a good season again. Colville. Orman Allen just pads the ball once, twice, deliberately knocks the ball out over the line. The umpire comes in, puts 2 arms in the air to indicate the ball will be thrown in.
You really do run the gauntlet when you do that. And no need for it. He could have feinted that a little differently.
Well, Biglands will take the free kick here. Just over the top there with Chalmers. Biglands worked hard to take that front position. He will take it. He'll give it to Colville. The big ruckman. He wants his kick. He does it. Gives it away. The umpire has spotted something up in the forward line. Umpire Williams. The free kick has been fouled. It will go to an Eagles player. Number 3 was Matthew Manfield. So his first game for the Eagles.
Well, he did come up to their junior ranks before disappearing to the AFL. Doesn't he come back looking a man mountain?
Does look good. The kick's good also. So another major to the Eagles. They move on to 3-1. The Magpies 1-2.
You know, when you can pick up a ready-made recruit that understands the club culture, and Manfield fits that bill. He's physically imposing. I think he could be one of the impact players in the SANFL this year. I don't know that he really got much of a chance at AFL level through injuries and form at various times, but You can just see how big and strong he is at this level. I think like Brett Chalmers for Port Adelaide, he could really take a power of stopping at this level.
15 minutes into the first term. And it's the Eagles 3-1. 19 leading Port Adelaide 1-2-8. 11 points. Chalmers over the top. Colville clever. Gets it down, look like Pearce on his left foot. Round the corner. Holt versus Cicalella this time. It's obviously picking up Cicalella and
the Rovers.
Colville as they change. Rogers tried to centre it, didn't quite get it off. Vines comes through. He was tackled without the footy by Gallagher. Vines recovers again. Biglands wraps him up in a tackle. And it's good footy all round. All the players committed.
Was a time, Tim, when Vines was just a runner, running wide. 3 or 4 attacks on the ball tonight. He's been in the thick of things, really throwing his body hard at it.
It's what Steve Williams does demand as a coach, and you probably won't play at the club unless you do that. And Vines, he certainly has done that tonight.
There he is again. 2 efforts in the clinches. I did think he'd struggle early. In fact, I saw him dragged in his early games, but I reckon that's the area where he's really improved the most.
He's only just turned 21 years of age.
He's still a talent, isn't he?
So he's very much a talent. You never know. You can get picked up from that sort of age bracket. Picked up by Trent Orman-Allen. Quick hands. Chalmers on the boot. Up towards the centre of the ground. Binky does battle with Fruin. O'Loughlin tries to keep it in front of him. Does it well. McGuinness gets a handball to Tregenza, who's playing in the centre of the ground. Couldn't quite get a handball away. Gallagher weaves in and out of 2 or 3. Have to get rid of it now. Does so to Floriani. Provides a run off the half-back flank. Finds Pearce. Pearce out wide. Finds Colville. Has an ability to find space. Colville uses the ball well normally. No exception. Finds Cicalella. And he'll have a shot from about 45, 50 out. Dead in front. And could put the Eagles further ahead, David.
That kick from Colville was very intelligent. The target was Biglands, but he just waited enough that Cicalella could drop in if he needed to.
I reckon Hamilton's been working on this as a team, David, because every time tonight they've been centering that ball very sensibly.
And their work from defence has been terrific.
In he comes, 50-metre line, kicks long. That's a fair effort. That's a good kick from a little fella. Cicalella's got his first. The Eagles 4-1, 25. 17-point margin over Port Adelaide, 1-2-8. 17 and a half minutes into the first quarter of season 2000 SNFL on the ABC.
Now, my only criticism of Cicalella last year was he didn't kick enough goals for Rover. I reckon Rover should be looking for 2 goals a game. And I just feel, I think he averaged half a goal a game. And I reckon if there's an area where he'll improve this year and really nail it, as it were, will be in the goal-kicking area.
The 25 plays 8. We're nearly 18 minutes into this first quarter. Great start by the Eagles. Neither side being advantaged by the breeze. It's a beautiful night for football. Eagles go forward once again. It's a high ball. The back is Polton again. Cicalella just held his ground. Wants to get the ball moving quickly. He does. The great kick. Couldn't quite find his target. Great shark up front. Comes through. They're running in numbers, the Eagles. As the kick made it, I think it has through Holland. We'll wait for the umpire. I think it's behind it is, but a great build-up again by the Eagles going forward.
Now, I've got to tell you, Holland made the kick in the middle and then roved the ball as it came in. He covered 75 metres in 10 seconds. He could run in an Olympic final.
Good kick by Archie from fullback. Found Polton on the half-back flank. And a bit of pressure the Magpies at the moment because the scoreboard's ticking over in the Eagles' favour. Tregenza back-to-back. Looks like he's playing in the middle of the ground at the moment. And it looks like we've got a 50-metre penalty happening, or 25 at least. Umpire Richard Williams.
Doesn't get flustered, Ricky Williams, does he?
No. Brings Tregenza up. Good pass. Well, there's been people who have been critical of Simon Tregenza's kicking throughout his career, but I reckon he's really improved in the last 2 years. The grand final, he showed that, and that kick there was exceptional out in front of Philip Smith.
Good test for Philip Smith too, playing on the state full back.
It'll only be a 30-metre kick. Virtually straight in front. Has he hooked it any, or has he pushed it out right?
Oh, good kick.
Just snuck it in, I believe. Second to Philip Smith. And that's Port Adelaide's second. 2-2-14. They trailed the Eagles by 12 points. 4-2-26, nearly 20 minutes into this first term.
And I think you're dead right about Tregenza. Stayed over the kick beautifully. Look at the weight in it. And Smith called for it from the square, pointed to where he wanted it, and Tregenza just popped it into the hole beautifully, and Smith was able to run onto it. There was nothing that Hall could do about that. I actually like that, Smith. I think he's very intelligent the way he set that one up for himself.
I think he's also just joined your club as well. First 2 kicks in football, 2 goals.
You've been looking at the stat sheet again, Nails.
We've played 20 minutes into this game. We see 4-2-26 the Eagles. They lead the Magpies on 2-2-14. Eagles go forward again. 33 running across there is Shirley. Shirley just chips it in well. They're using the ball very intelligently, the Eagles.
You're right about Gallagher. He's a virtual recruit, Mark. He only played 2 for them last year. It's a good call.
Gallagher, ball's up high. Big leap from behind. The player there happened to be Manfield again. Tall player coming through hard there was Jared Poulton. Head down, tail up. Again, Shirley, great hands. Picks that football up, then just chips the ball, wastes it beautifully out wide. And Jason Ray takes a mark inside 50.
The Eagles recruited this fellow from Central a couple of years ago, where he played predominantly as a back pocket player. And I just think at 22, maybe they've got him at the right time.
So we'll kick from around about 50 metres on the line. He releases the football, the long left leg. It's a beautiful kick. He's got the distance. Has he the accuracy? No, he hasn't. So behind to the Eagles. They move on to 4-3-27. The Magpies still on 2-2-14.
I don't know, Tim, that kick just looked a little lazy to me.
Yeah, there's been a lot of AFL clubs look at Jason Ray. They really have, and they've sort of...
his athleticism.
Yep, absolutely, and his talent, but he just didn't quite punch that one enough. Been brought out by the Magpies now. McGuinness roved it well, crumbed it, a little give to Tregenza. Playing well in the middle of the ground. Long kick towards half forward, thumped away by Fruin. Steve tries to get back on it. Floriani beats him to it. It's going to be Colville doing the hard work. Coming through tough as the Magpies. It's Steed. Now gets a kick up towards a one-on-one contest. Hall versus Smith. Hall got right over the top. An excellent effort. Smith's going to be first to recover though. Off the deck, he suckers it. It's going to get a right break, a left break. No. Stays in play. Beautiful work in the back pocket there. Stepped around him. Hits Floriani on the chest. Was that Shirley back there? Very nice work. Floriani trying to make his mind up where to go. Comes down the line, sensible stuff. Too far down the line, out of bounds on the full. The free kick will be taken by Tregenza.
So Tregenza, playing the football, he's already had 6 kicks and 3 handballs, so 9 possessions at the 23-minute mark into this first quarter. Good mark up forward. It's Binky. Shave those locks from season 99. But the Magpie number 24, age 24 as well. There's an opportunity here just to get the Magpies a little bit closer to the Eagles.
24 goals from 9 games last year. Crows used him. Tim, you were critical of the Crows in the way they used him, but more of that.
Binky puts it high. Has he the accuracy? I think he has. 2 fingers go up, so first goal to Binky. That's the Magpies' third.
Well, Tim, we might get you to expand on that. You thought that he was hard done by early in the season by the Crows?
Yeah, early I thought he could have got more opportunity, but then the late half of the year, I couldn't question it. I mean, he got plenty of games, and I thought Malcolm Blight's, I suppose, his critique of him was excellent. He ended up saying that he was probably pretty poor on the ground level and couldn't actually pick the ball off the ground. And I thought that that was a very good critique by Malcolm Blight, and probably pretty accurate, but it's still AFL standard.
Oh, Chalmers, did you jump at that?
Comes up the half forward, picked up by O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin coming in long, looking for Brosnan. Brosnan's underneath it. Well done, Jamie Tate. Got him underneath it. Just going to run it over the line now. Sensible stuff by Hall. And the Eagles' defence does well to take it out in the back pocket.
David Brown not playing tonight, Tim?
Well, yeah, I'm just not sure what actually is wrong with Brownie, but I did hear last week that they weren't going to risk him if it wasn't right. So the skipper has to sit this one out, unfortunately. Forward pocket throw in for the Magpies. Brosnan hits it over the back. That's a pretty good tap. He's found Tregenza on the 50-metre line. Tregenza winds up, kicks long, will make the distance, but it's not accurate. It'll be another point, and the Magpies will go to 3-3-21. 1 goal behind the Eagles, 4-3-27.
Interesting set plays coming into the SANFL. That's clearly a set play. Tregenza was sitting back, and it almost worked. Had he kicked straight, that's a goal.
As we see Jason Ray just coming off having a bit of a rest, coming on for his first run for the season. With David Neiman, he'll be looking forward to getting out there. He too must have had a good summer. He's lost a fair bit of weight a couple of seasons ago. Hall comes grandstand side. It's a high ball. Fruin will sit underneath it. Also, Brett Bricklands is there. There's no small players for the Eagles. The Magpies have a chance to set it up. They do that. And Alfie Steed makes a good overhead mark.
That's good courage, David.
Well, I was just going to say, it's a trademark for Steed. He impressed me as a player, a tough player, before the knee injury. Had a tough off-season too, by the way. Family matters. Just a good kid.
Steed just pushes the ball wide. It wasn't a good kick off the boot. He realises that also. A chance there for the Magpies to draw level.
Alfie Steed wearing that left armband, I guess in honour of his mum who passed away in the off-season, Tim.
That is correct, and yeah, we wish the Steed family all the best.
Yeah, tough break, and he's a terrific kid.
Fullback. State fullback. Hall tries to bring it in. Indicated long, went to kick short. Wasn't quite balanced when he released it. Made a mistake, got it to McGuinness, and it's unfortunately paid the penalty. It's ended up with O'Loughlin 25 metres dead in front.
Just indecision there. Work out of defence has been terrific. He's been going long to a running player every time. They've sucked forward and left one running long. It's worked for them every time. I don't know why they change it. Perhaps the method is to mix it up, but it didn't work that time.
He was definitely in two minds as he kicked it, David.
Yeah.
So O'Loughlin, great opportunity, 25 metres out, dead in front. McGuinness did some good work to get it to him. He might have just pushed it a bit to the left, but I don't think enough. It'll be a goal. It is. It's Ricky O'Loughlin's first. Port Adelaide now move in front, 4-4-28. 1 point lead over the Eagles, 4-3-27. And we're nearly 27 minutes into the first term of season 2000 in the SNFL.
Port Adelaide named Ricky O'Loughlin best first-year player. I thought Aaron Fiora might have had a fair chance at that. So they've got two rippers. They've lost one, they've kept the other. 1
point margin favouring the Magpies. Again, Chalmers just getting a good reach tonight, jumping hard at the football. Coming through is Carter. Again, quickly onto the boot. Vines just allows Binky to come through. Good hands, back to Degenza. That has to be his 11th possession this quarter. Just lays out again for Steed. Alfie Steed heads towards centre half forward. The kick's good. Give a chance for Tate to sit there. He does. Couldn't take it. Couldn't spoil it. McGuinness was in hard. Good knock on. Came from Fraser. Chip forward comes out to Pearce. Pearce quickly under the boot. Gives it across to Neiman. Neiman goes wide. 2-on-1 here. Carter comes through. Working hard across there. Number 47 was Gallagher. Just giving Carter a fairly hard time there. And Carter just went across to make sure the ball went out over the line.
Now, who did you tip in this match, Tim?
Oh, we'd have to go to Port Adelaide on its pre-season form.
Now, did you go to the ABC website and put your tips in?
Well, I'm going to, because all you have to do is get onto local.abc.net.au/SA footy.
Forward slash it is.
Forward slash,
yeah. They just changed it on us then.
Oh, thank you very much, yes.
When they showed it to us earlier, it was a backslash.
But if you do that, you can enter the tipping competition now. David, you've backed yourself fairly well. You should be on that.
It's a good point. It's nice and embarrassing when you really muck it up, though, isn't it? But our top 10 tipsters each week will be featured on our footy show at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, run across the screen. So if you want to see your name up there, tip accurately.
Floriani, great build-up by the Eagles, but a great defensive work there by the Maggies. What's happened here?
Colville hit the post.
Just couldn't quite pick up. Players were just throwing themselves over the football. But a behind has been registered to the Eagles. So the score's again locked away, 28 apiece. Good work by Steve David.
Down from the back pocket, followed Floriani down. Colville picks up the crumb and just hits the post on the far side. He was very unlucky to pick it up, to be honest.
Very good effort at goal. Almost a Eugene Warrior goal.
Almost.
Here comes Jared Polton out of the back pocket, kicking long to the wing position, looking for Chalmers over the back. He went early, Chalmers, and I reckon he's given a free kick away. So Fruin's mark will be given up to Neiman, I reckon. Ugranic's taken the free kick for hanging on by the looks of it.
Very clever.
Archie, good work out of defence to Vines, running along. Good vision, he didn't panic with his kick, found Steed.
A wrap for Floriani, but they've got to make a change, the Eagles, because Steed is just tearing him to pieces.
Oh, good competitive stuff by Tape on Brosnan. I'll tell you what, Stevie Brosnan's form, I thought pre-season, he played a couple of games for the Power, was excellent. after he settled down in the first game, and you'll know all about it tonight. Jamie Taber's a very good defender. Thrown in half forward over the back again to Dragenza.
Set play.
He's played centre very well tonight, and there goes the siren. Phil Smith will not be able to take that kick. Siren blew early, and what a great start to the SNFL season 2000. It's Port Adelaide, 4 goals, 4-28. The Eagles, 4 goals, 4-28. And that's the end of the first quarter. And you're viewing on ABC Sport, SNFL season 2000.
Start of the second quarter here. The Magpies up against the Eagles. Port Adelaide 4-4-28. Eagles also 4-4-28. A great first quarter to start the season 2000. Biggins this time just gets his timing a little bit better. Jumps hard into Chalmers. Ugrinnick, catch me if you can. On Chalmers, kicks it up high. Great contest back there. Orman Allen. McCartney, ball's just chipped out. Back to Chalmers. Chalmers around his body. Goes forward. Just a little bit of indecision. Maybe no voice. Has caused the turnover. Fraser. Heard the voice out wide. Great mark out front. Alfie Steed. A great opening quarter with Steed. Quickly back, quickly gets the ball moving over the back. Big thump by Tape. This allows 35 in Brosnan round his body. It's across the face of goals. And the ever-experienced Kelvinator in Andrew Rogers just sees the ball out over the line.
Now, Tim, if you're an AFL recruiting officer and you look at Brosnan, what do you see in him?
I just think he, for his size and his mobility, he's always, his recovery's brilliant. He gets on the ball quickly. And I think he goes at it hard with his hands. He's pretty good. Beveridge out towards Rogers. Switches play towards Pearce. Great season in 99. He'll be looking to back that up. Ugrinnick again. If he can only keep his hamstrings in place, he'll be a great player. Pearce tried to do the old 1-2. Back to Ugrinnick. Missed the target. And she's out of bounds. And good pressure by the Magpies there to keep it in their forward line.
Well, David, how'd you see that first quarter of football?
I saw it as a quarter of two halves, as it were. The Eagles dominated the first part of it, and Port Adelaide, in typical Port Adelaide fashion, just fought their way back into the game.
Guinness quick kick into the forward line. It's good work by Fruin there. Gets on to Tape. Jamie Tape now, long kick out in the space, but it's going to be Carter first on it, or is it? Beautifully worked there by Manfield. Round his body. Long kick in towards the pocket. One-on-one contest. Archie gets Kluzek underneath it this time. He's had good trial form, this young man. He does it well there to Northeast. 8 times premiership player. Looks for Vines. And Vines takes it over the line.
Port Adelaide interchange bench.
Tyson Stenglein, Damien Brown,
yeah,
Danny Morgan.
In the middle.
Good combination.
You know you're going well when you can put Stenglein and Morgan on the bench.
Colville, quick hands to Pearce. Nice little give back to Colville in the 1-2. Got it right this time. Good pass. And a good take by Manfield, and Fegan and Clayton just let him know he's earned it.
Well, it was a ball to be earned then. And Manfield was up to it because you could just see that the player was coming. He stood his ground and he knew there was a crunch coming, prepared for it and took it. Got one from the front and one from behind.
Nothing Manfield couldn't handle, I don't think. He's going to have to kick from just over 50. Going to take a good leg to get it there. No, it's a wobbly old punt kick. Winds up in Phil McGuinness's arms. Didn't get onto that one at all. Brings it out to Tregenza. Great first quarter, over 10 possessions. I've just been told 12 by our great man, stats man, Moggy. Thank you for that. Brosnan had a little bit of interference. Nearly took the ball. O'Loughlin on the deck. We'll have a bounce down. Centre wing. Scores are still tied away. 28 apiece. 3.5 minutes into the second term.
Damien Brown preparing to come on and presumably change a little bit of the ruck load for Brett Chalmers, who's fading. He started pretty well, didn't he? But I think Biglan's is just starting to overhaul him.
Biglan's and Chalmers again. Biglan's front position. 35 again with Brosnan. Comes back. Well read there by Rogers. Across to Colville. They set it up the Eagles. They go forward. Oh! Nearly a great mark out front. Was Kluzak. 47 coming across as Gallagher just props, turns inside, heads towards goal. Wasn't directed well. Is it out over the line? I think it is, Fegan. It is. The umpire puts his hand to the air.
Jason Ray could be justifiably upset there. He created the space. He was 20 yards clear on the far side. Went to the leg of Gallagher, and Gallagher doubled back. and when he doubled back, there was no Ray there.
Ball thrown in right against the point post here. Eagles forward pocket. Manfield just got his fingertips to it. 5 is Polton. 19 there again is Jason Ray. And the umpires found a free kick.
I think everybody was confused there.
I think I'm confused up here.
That's Port Adelaide's first free kick of the game, Nails. So they've earned their kicks the hard way.
Northeast. Wobbles it out. Good grab by Rogers, one-on-one with O'Loughlin. I don't know, that's just superior body work by Rogers. Shouldn't have been penalised. He's given O'Loughlin, chips it over in the path of Clayton. It's a good turnover ball for the Magpies now. Great work by Hall on Smith to punch that one away. And the ball will be taken over the boundary line. And
well, let's have a look at it, Tim. What do you reckon?
No, nothing.
You're 100% right. Read it beautifully.
Superior.
Yeah, even umpires have early season games.
Oh, absolutely. They'll get rid of the jitters. Ball thrown in, half forward flank for the Magpies. Good recovery. McGuinness squeezes a little kick out as he does so often. Up towards full forward in the path of Binky. Steed will not deviate from the line, neither will Pearce. Ends up with Fraser. Quick hands out to Tregenza, who's been a fantastic link player. Brett Bigland's tried to knock Phil McGuinness's block off. But Phil just took the mark and got on with the play, and that's the way to do it.
Actually, it was very clever, wasn't it? Look, he just ducked his head and pulled the ball down at the same time. He could hear the footsteps coming and he knew he had to take it and react.
Got one for his measure, but didn't react, and that's the way to do it. Go back, have your shot. Phil McGuinness will do that, dead in front. Kick from about 45.
Is he better on the run or a shit shot, Tim?
Probably on the run. Let's have a look at him. It's not a bad leg though, is it?
It's off the boot.
Well, that's Phil McGuinness's first goal, the first one of the second term. Took 6.5 minutes. It's Port Adelaide 5-4-34. The Eagles 4-4-28.
I think he was third or so on the goal kicking list last year. Second in the best and fairest. And really, I think he's into the 80 games since he joined Port Adelaide from Glenelg. He's been an impact player. I thought he was important for them in the grand final last year.
A brilliant year last year. He really did have a brilliant year. And topped it off with the grand final effort, and also runner-up in the best and fairest.
Magpies 34, the Eagles 28. So 6-point ball game. Back to Fraser. Fraser's got support out wide. Maybe should have taken that, Vines. Knocked again by Gallagher. Coming up, good use of the hands just to find a player. There was Floriani going back again to Gallagher. Gallagher needs support now. He does that. Just controls the football out wide to Ugrinnik. Ugrinnik down the line. Good kick, finds Colville. So the Eagle with plenty of small runners and quick thinkers do it well. Manfield again. Just a little gave the contest. Good tackle, I thought. Maybe a little bit high. Gallagher's run down, David, just to give that contest hitting front and centre.
Well, Jared Polton had to do that, because if he hadn't, he just had to stop him any way he could. Gallagher was running into an open, unprotected goal. I thought the play from Polton was worthwhile.
Great kick by Gallagher. Good work from behind by Northeast. Just didn't come out hard enough, Ray. Kluzak over the top. Big Brown's on there to give the contest. The Magpies working very hard out there. They can see the Eagles are a quality side. And again, the ball just forced by Alfie Steed out over the boundary line.
You're dead right about Jason Ray. If you're going to lope out from full forward, you're never going to get a kick. You've got to come out like you've been shot out of a gun. Or as thin as he is, he's never going to get a ball.
Colville quickly onto the boot, up towards full forward. Contested defenders and forwards there. It's going to be McCarthy first on it. Tries to get away from Orman Allen's, right on him. Ray tried to push the ball forward. Ends up with Carter. Good give to Fegan. They work it out of defence. It's now with Clayton. Long kick up towards half forward. Brosnan's got a chance here. Hands out in front. That's good take. Long kick, good vision. He saw the run of Vines. Finds him. Vines got Paddock in front of him. He looks up ground towards McGuinness. McGuinness's hands are good in front of Holland.
I think they might have made a change too. Floriani doesn't seem to be back in that area. Holland might have the job now.
McGuinness looking for an option, goes right to the top of the square. The back Brosnan comes from about 3 deep, didn't get his hands on it. Fruin does the crumbing, of all people, and does it well. Finds Holland now. Dutchie gets around McGuinness pretty easily on his left foot. It's his target. Gallagher dropped what he probably should have taken. Pearce tries to get his hands up. I know where he was trying to get to. He's trying to hit Holland, but Danny Morgan's on. Quick little hands to Tregenza. That quick kick didn't come off, and Shirley takes a mark in the defensive 50.
About 10 minutes ago, Mark, I saw Shirley and Clayton go at each other, and there were fireworks.
Oh, a couple of tough customers. It's going to be a great season of football. These two are already penciled in my final 5 for the season. They're a couple of good sides. Just going to see there, as we can see, Floriani, David, you call it right.
Yeah, I reckon
struggling a little bit.
The goal from McGuinness was probably for Paul Hamilton. Just, you've got to let a player have time to come good on you, and Floriani's one of those players. He'll just give you everything, but tonight he just wasn't having an on night. And sometimes you've just got to give him a rest.
The umpires are taking control out here. Steed just gave Dylan just a little bit of a tap. Umpire saw it and penalised him. Carter coming through tough and hard. Number 10 and Andrew Beveridge and loses his shorts.
He's new to the town, fellas. Give him a break.
The 10-minute mark of this second quarter here at Football Park, as we see the shorts being discarded. We see the Magpies 5-4-34, the Eagles 4-4-28.
Well, this game's really spiced up. The intensity's lifted just a couple of notches.
Holton working the ball towards centre wing. Jurganik on his wing. 229s, him and Vines opposed to each other.
Space here.
Good taken by McCarthy.
That's the first time he's got away too.
He's looking, but that's not a good kick. Finds Archie for the Magpies, out on his left foot. He's looking for Tregenza, goes over the back to Triggy, reads it so well. Off he goes with that familiar bounce. Inside 50, Trigger. Looking for Clayton. Clayton makes a contest of it with Biglands. Biglands tries to get it over the line and does so, and we'll have a boundary throw in right next to the left-hand point post. The Magpies kicking to the northern end. They're in front by one solitary goal.
Just having a look at the Eagles' defensive lineup. I reckon it's as good as Port Adelaide's was last year. I think these two sides will probably have the best defences in the competition. Early statement, but just they look so solid.
Well, David, you are known for the early big statement. There's no doubt about that. We'd expect it again in 2000, my friend. Ball coming out to half-back flank for the Eagles. Great contest that was. Fruin had to come from a mile back to spoil Binky.
Taking the thing about Port Adelaide, they always give you an honest contest, and I reckon that's one thing that Mark Micken brought to the Eagles last year, and Paul Hamilton seems to be carrying on. It just gives such a hard, honest contest. Even if they don't win it, they give a good account of themselves.
Certainly give you that. Tyson Stenglein warming up to come on the ground for the Magpies. Interesting to see who he replaces.
Hey, Holland back into a back pocket's a pretty good move too.
It is, isn't it? He's very mobile, around about the same height as the Rovers.
And he's a bit quicker than McGuinness and Steed.
Brown and Biglands did battle. Brosnan, good hands over the top. Tregenza gets a little kick of sorts. Doesn't go far. Rogers, clever give. Dropped by Tape. Backs up with a very good tackle.
That was tough.
Drilled him into the turf.
That was tough. I mean, Tape, you picked it. He's going to be an exciting player. And he is certainly worthwhile from an AFL club picking up.
Brown, he realising that Biglands loves that front position, works hard to get there. It's back to Brown, one of the biggest players out there tonight. It's a high ball, Binky and Fruin. A great contest that's been. This player's been exciting tonight. Alfie Steed heads home with the kick. As it carried, it has far enough. A little bit ill-directed once again. Wasn't favoured by the bounce. So another score to the Magpies there, 5-5-35.
Just looks dangerous.
Eagles 4-4-28.
Sorry, mate. He just looks dangerous, Steed. Every time he goes near the ball, he just looks like he's capable of doing something clever, exciting, innovative. I like the way he just attacks every ball with passion.
Long kick by Hall, out towards halfback. Tregenza just getting a lot of the football. Tregenza, 12 touches in the first term. He's been following that up with another good effort. Fraser got paid holding the ball. Tregenza, nice short kick, finds Smith, and David, I'll let you comment on that.
He's quick, isn't he, off the first 10 metres? He is very quick, this kid.
Well, I'd just love to see what Simon Tregenza has had up to, what are we, the 13-minute mark of this second quarter. He's had 15 kicks, Dave. He's had 3 handballs, so 18 possessions, and not even half-time yet. If you double that, 36 in a game is not a bad effort.
Cool.
Something needs to be done, David, and it has to be done pretty quickly.
We can only plug so many gaps, Mark. I mean, Port Adelaide have got quality players in every line.
Phil Smith lining up for his third from 45 out. He's a good leg. He's a strong leg, and that is his third goal. Port Adelaide now, 6-5-41, lead the Eagles 4-4-28. 14 minutes in the second term, and you're watching SNFL football live and exclusive to the ABC in season 2000.
Port Adelaide are blessed, aren't they? They've had some great full forwards, Tim Evans, Scotty Hodges, and look, it's
that's
too
tough. That's tough. Very tough.
well. You drag the ball under. That's
didn't.
you
The
drag
Port
the
player pulled the ball underneath Rodgers. It came out. You can see that again. I don't think we will, because I know I'm right, David.
You're always right, Mark.
There he is. 3 kicks, 3 goals, the big fella on his debut. We're back in the middle. 41 plays 28. Again, the Magpies go forward. It's McGuinness. Good use of the body by the big fella. He's pulled down a big one. Big Smithy.
3 kicks from 4 goals, and you're on the state fullback. You're on debut, and you're about to kick your 4th at the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. I don't know that you'll see too many full forwards make a more impressive debut.
Well, there used to be a bloke playing at centre half forward called D. Smith. The Magpies have found another one. Philip Smith up from the reserves. Lines up for his 4th. 2 in the first. Just kicked the last goal. He's only 25 metres out, directly in front. Shouldn't miss this if he's a professional forward. He is. That's his 4th. That's the Magpies' 7th.
He's got a great kicking action. Very stable, keeps his head over the ball, but I like the work that came out of the middle. The ruck work, Tim, was great, wasn't it?
Damien Brown, beautiful little deft tap, right hand. Phil McGuinness hit it at 100 mile an hour.
Well, what about this brilliant mark, though? Just sits it up beautifully and takes it very strongly, measured.
It was just sheer strength. He just held the body. He's a strong boy. He's only young. He's 22 years of age. But 100 kilograms, that really does go a long way.
Damien Brown does his own roving out of the centre. Kicks it up towards centre half forward. Binky in front. Makes a contest. Pearce. Good hands to Holland. Holland a quick kick under pressure. Finds Carter though. One-on-one contest with Gallagher. Too much experience, too much strength there in that contest. Brown gets a nice kick towards centre half forward. That's good work by Brosnan. Clever. Tried to get it out towards Steed. Good work by Beveridge over the top of it. He's got it out quickly. The Eagles now. Got time through tape. Switch play. Find Dillon.
Port Adelaide are forcing the Eagles to go wide, though, Tim. They're playing corridor football when they were ahead early, and Port Adelaide are forcing them wide.
Good call, David. And Colton just putting a lot of pressure on Colville, and the ball's been taken over the line. Centre wing throw in.
Port Adelaide own the corridor at the moment. They're playing direct football, and they're forcing the Eagles wide, and that's the difference in the games.
19-point margin to the Magpies at the moment. Well, Neiman won the tap, went straight to McGuinness, bounced off of somebody else and went to Beveridge. He runs out well on his left foot. He's got a new pair of shorts now. He's okay. Comes up towards centre half forward. Fegan couldn't keep it in the area. Over the top is Manfield, and will have a bounce down 65 metres away from the Eagles' goal.
Interesting that. When you're on your back and you pull the ball in, there's no free kick. You're on your knees and you pull the ball in, it's a definite free kick.
Centre half forward for the Eagles. 47 plays 28. We're 17 and a half minutes into the second quarter. Again, a quick kick forward for the Magpies. They're playing in front. It really is taking an advantage over the Eagles at the moment. Space here allows you Green to come in left leg. You don't see this too often. It's a high ball. Where's the Flyers? There wasn't one from behind. Number 3, Manfield, couldn't quite bring it down. The ball's just pushed out wide.
The Eagles are playing.
Finds a safety at the boundary line.
The Eagles are playing a man short on their forward line. Jason Race presented himself once and was ignored, and he's thrown in the towel like he just waddled to that. If you're going to play in that position, you're going to play like he does, you are going to have to come out and come out hard.
Over the back, Gallagher taken quickly by Carter. Umpire again, 2 arms across his chest. The Magpies, they've just got a little bit of, maybe not enthusiasm, but they really are appreciating the hard work they're doing at the moment, each and every one of them.
They've got a toughness about them, Port Adelaide, a real toughness.
Oh, Ray just pulled out of that contest. Should have gone through with it. Northeast did well, as you said, heard in the background. Good smother and may result in the goal. It does.
Cicarella.
That's his first. That's his second. Kick one on the first, one on the second. So 7-5, 47. Eagles 5-4, 34.
What about Kluzak with the smother? And the little quick give, he almost gave it off to Cicarella. Cicarella has terrific skills, left or right foot, backs himself in. One of the very clever players of the competition. Good turn of pace, good sidestep, and just good vision to just settle and kick it around the corner. Very clever player. That's the break.
That was a much needed goal, wasn't it? I think Port Adelaide had kicked the last 6 goals in a row, so the Eagles needed that one to get back into the contest. They now win the ball out of the centre. This is good play. Uganik up towards McCarthy. Been closely checked by Stenglein, and the ball will go over the boundary line and have a throw in. But
just watching Northeast, Jim. Sorry to cut across you. He's just punching, hitting. Jason Ray. He's got his measure. He's got him bluffed. It's an interesting one. You know, Ray's a good little player. He'll learn from tonight.
Brown, roundhouse one down the half-back line. Rogers just fends off his opponent. Does it well to Beveridge. Over the top towards Uganik. Runs straight through the line. Gets tackled. Quick hands by Colville. McCarthy fakes the handball. Back on his left foot. Towards the top of the squares. A pack of players. Gallagher. The only one with eyes for the footy. Good courage. Took a great mark. Should finish off from here.
I'll tell you what I did like. Jason Ray took a big fly and he meant it. Didn't take the mark, but he split the back, and Gallagher was left under it.
So Gallagher, 20 metres out, dead in front, should nail this one. Second in a row for the Eagles. He's achieved that. That's his first. So the Eagles now within a goal, 6-4-40, trailing Port Adelaide 7-5-47. We're 20 and a half minutes into the second term at Footy Park.
The skipper sets this one up, doesn't he? But McCarthy was very clever and very disciplined. Colville, very quick hands, just got it out. McCarthy sold the dummy beautifully. But look at the left boot. Good discipline. 10 metres out from the point of the square. Ray came hard, but Gallagher just read it beautifully for a little bloke.
So big David Neiman's been moved into the ruck for the Eagles, up against Damien Brown. Just wait for umpire Williams to thump the football to the centre of Football Park. It's down, it's a good ball up. Demon judged it just a little bit better. Brown was just too quick to get there. Good pressure applied now by the Eagles. They've kept control of this football the last 4 or 5 minutes. A chance again to go forward. They're inside 40. Chips the ball up high. Has he brought it back far enough? I think he might have. That's his third for Cicarella. And the Eagles fans go wild.
We talk about clever players, and you can see why this fellow is an exciting prospect. Gathered the umpires' votes last year. 15 votes in the McGarry. Third in the Eagles' best and fairest. But this is terrific. One step, settles. I think he thought he missed it, but it wobbled back and just got through. This fellow can kick 5 or 6 goals in a game. As I said, he only averaged half a goal last year, and he's got 3 already tonight.
Doesn't a goal change the face of the game? The Eagles have got the next 2 balls out of the centre and now trail by only 1 point. 22 minutes into the second term here at Football Park. Season 2000 of SNFL football, live and exclusive on the ABC. Damien Brown tries to get the tap down towards Clayton. On the deck, Dillon overran it. Pearce recovers well. Finds Beveridge. Punches it in hard. Kluzek just a little bit to his left. The Eagles will clean up. Dillon again backing up. Good kick towards the top of the square. Finds McCarthy. It's good, intelligent football by the Eagles, and they've done it all night tonight. Very disciplined.
The other thing, Biglands, who's down in the forward pocket, lost his footing, so it had to require somebody to get in there. But at least they've got a couple of big targets to kick to. And
at least that everybody knows where the ball's going to go. Here goes McCarthy, 20 metres out. Only a slight angle. Oh, he's hooked that.
Just 3 steps, David.
Really stabbed it at Mark.
Go, Mark, go on.
It was only about 3 or 4 steps, not even that. It just poked at that football. I reckon he went back and watched that. He just needed to get it back, I reckon, another 10 metres before he kicked that. But this is the build-up. It was good, David.
Healthy Steed. He'll do anything to get to a ball.
Oh, Portman have made a mistake kicking out. Through hard was Kluzak. Tregenza, who's just been my best on ground so far in this game. Works hard. Fegat through the middle of the ground. We hear it again for the Maggies. Is up high. Where's the big fella? His big frame's out front. Couldn't take it. O'Loughlin's down there. Head over the football. Can't pick up that Eagles player. Got the yellow number. Who was it,
Hall.
David?
Hall.
There's Hall's in there. This player here with the football.
Look at Hall, though. He tackles his own teammate and brings him to ground.
Little Holland.
I reckon it's Holland.
Holland, Dutchy.
Yeah. Now look, Hall grabs him here. You just missed it. But Hall actually grabs him and pulls him to the ground. He said, this ball's not coming out.
Oh, that's a very good tap. Neiman down to Rogers. Neiman again, he's been tackled high by Fraser. We've all called that up here and we've got it right.
Neiman's in the last 10 minutes, David, just got a little bit of influence in this game. He really has jumping hard. I've been saying about it.
First time in his life, his skin folds are low and he's fit. And I think had he done this as a junior, he would have been an AFL prospect.
Kick by Colville to the wing. Hans Beveridge. Been impressed with him tonight. Good recruit. Up to Manfield. That's a good take. Kept his head up tonight.
Good kick.
Out in the path of Cluzak. Well done, Archie. Gets the spoil away. Fraser does the crumbing. Around his body. O'Loughlin overruns it. On the deck, Neiman had to get the little touch to it towards Jurgening. Otherwise, the Magpies were away. Gets it back from Jurgening. Little left foot. Good hands, McCarthy. Through Rogers' hands, which is very unusual.
Handball was too hard. It was just too quick.
I don't know, David.
It was quick and slick, but sometimes they just come at you that fast. It was a bullet.
You've got to take those, Dave.
Yeah, we don't see Andrew Rogers make too many mistakes.
I was going to say, if we
he just made one.
If we talked to Andy Rogers afterwards, he would say,
I let him down.
Yeah, he'd say, Jesus, I should have taken that.
The score's locked away, 47 apiece. We're 25 minutes into the second quarter. It's been an entertaining game. Entertaining first half. It's a high ball coming out hard as Cluzak. He should take this. One grab, two. He takes it now.
No. It's Beveridge.
It's Beveridge. Beveridge. Lace out. It's nice. It's up in the air. Oh, a little bit of a duck of the head there by Manfield. Picked by both of our other commentators here. Coming through is Gallagher. Gives it back to Colville. Colville's looking for support just to set it up. He goes high with the kick. McCarthy's in there. Missed the last goal. Takes the mark. He should line up this time. Go back another 10 metres, fella. Take my advice. Kick through the football.
You will never see Matthew Manfield duck his head again. Ever. I've never seen that.
Well, I just called it earlier that he's kept his head up all night.
Yeah, no, he's been terrific.
Took a great
and he'll look at that in the replay and be terribly embarrassed because he is a tough, courageous player.
4 kicks, 4 marks, and McCarthy. Again, he's a bit close. Stabs at it, but this time he's got the accuracy. It's his first major, and now the Eagles are back in front.
What a seesawing game it is. You would have sworn at the 10-minute mark of this quarter that Port Adelaide were going to run away from it. And the Eagles have shown great character and courage. Just McCarthy in that contest. A big fly, covered about 2.5, 3 metres forward motion and up. It's great athletic achievement. And the kick off 2 steps again, but this time accurate.
Well, the Eagles back in front here. 8-5-53, playing Port Adelaide 7-5-47. A very good contest tonight for the opener. Very high skill level. Colville onto it. Tries to get a handball over. It's Chalmers intercepts. Quick kick towards Steed. It's going to be Rogers trying to work the ball towards the boundary line.
He's got there.
Let's see if the experience can do it. Gets it on there towards. Was that Shirley on top of the ball? Steed on top of him, and that is very, very stiff.
It's the rule. They're going to enforce it. As long as they're consistent, it doesn't matter.
Spot on. That's a fair call if you're going to be consistent. Alfie Steed. Right up towards Phil Smith. With Binky. Binky punches the ball away. Ends up with Fruin. Good hands to Rogers. They've worked that pretty well. Holt nearly got hold of Cigalella. Good mark. Courage by Clayton coming back. Beveridge tried to take him out. Carter lets him know. But look at Clayton. Eats that sort of thing for breakfast. Loves it. Kicks it along towards the pocket where Smith is. He backs up.
I tell you what,
sorry,
Tim.
fellas.
So this,
it was just back behind the players.
We might just have a quick look at it.
It was Carter, but
this was tough, and this is why Clayton's won the most courageous and dedicated Port Adelaide. When you win that award at Port Adelaide, you just know that they're tough, and he's won it. So at half-time, Port Adelaide 7-5-47, trail the Eagles 8-5-53. You're watching all the tough opening round action on ABC Football.
the 6-point ball game favouring the Eagles. It was a tremendous first half of football. The second half should be just as good. These two sides, as I said before, are going to play an important part in this year's finals campaign. Where they finish will determine how many games they win this year. No doubt the Magpies will be very high along with the Eagles, who finished third last year. The Magpies taking out the flag. Ball comes in, the Eagles go forward again. Back there is Carter, comes wide. 38. is Stengline. Just chips the ball down the line. Again, Tregenza, tremendous first half of football. Had 20 possession. That's his 21st possession in the game. Great start for season 2000. Good work. In tight by Colville. Pearce just goes for the safety of the boundary line, just pushes it over. With him there is Jamie Tate. So the first minute of the play, the Eagles have gone forward. The Magpies' defence have stand strong. Good tap again by Bigland. Oh, here we go. Cicarella also had a very good first quarter. Lays it out beautifully. Where's McCarthy? Had the hands there. Good work by Carter going back. Clayton comes around, cleans up the mess. Comes out wide. Northeast. Taken again. This bloke, number 10 for the Eagles jumper. Beveridge wants to put somebody down. Trying hard, just can't quite finish him off.
Well, he almost got Mark Clayton late in the second term. He's had a couple lined up, Tim.
I think Mark Nayley picked it, hadn't quite finished it off, but Northeast, plenty of courage there. Up to the wing position, Fraser tries to get hold of it. Scotty Hahn off the deck, quick kick out. Chalmers did that well. Kept his eye on the football. Kicks it long towards Smith, one-on-one with Hall. Good work. Rogers finds Jamie Tate, switches play. Holland's got a paddock to work in here. Shouldn't be under too much pressure to gather the football. Has one bounce, two. A lot of room to work in. He's looking upfield, but Clayton will do battle. Colville from behind did well to make a contest. Dillon keeping it in front of himself, kicks it along the ground, and they'll be happy with that ball. They can reset, and the Eagles will go into attack. They're 6 points in front, 2 minutes into the third term here at Football Park.
Just having a look down in the Eagles forward line. We remember that Matthew Pavlich has gone to Fremantle Nails. And we're just wondering who's going to step up, and is it Manfield, is it Kluzek?
A great chance for the youngsters just to prove themselves. Coming across again was Pearce. He's worked hard tonight, along with Colville. Both those two have done very well. Cicarella also in that class. Again, the ball's in. Chalmers, this time up against Manfield. Chalmers just chips it out again. Number 19 for the Magpies. He would have had to have a shower at half-time. Worked so much in that first quarter. In tight. Handball, O'Loughlin. Which way will he go? He stands there.
It's gone.
Didn't realise he was about to be tackled. The umpire calls the advantage. Rogers comes aside the Pearce. Pearce ducks the head. Nearly taken off there by McGuinness. This time it was high. Again, the umpire, good umpire, lets it flow across the top again. Would look like Holland. Players just can't pick the football up cleanly. Umpire just hides that whistle, allowing the players just to get the ball out. It doesn't. So they will ball it up right in the middle of the ground here at Football Park.
Great commitment from all players though, Tim, wasn't it? You just look at Pearce going hard at it. Here comes Gallagher. Great commitment by Scotty Hahn. Every player gave of his best.
Back in the centre, Gallagher trying to get his hands on it. Squeezes out, end up McGuinness. Tregenza tried to get hold of it. Shirley robbed him of it. He's got hold of it now. Kicks it long to centre forward. Feagit cleans up well. Found Chalmers. Nice kick. Hits Tregenza. Tries to draw. Pearce. Got the old 1-2 off Fraser. Now kicks long, looking for a target. Will it be Binky? He's behind. O'Loughlin. Trying to get to the contest. Straight through the football was Beveridge. No question of his courage tonight. Managed to get it out now. Spiglin's going for two bounces. He's very mobile, isn't he? Kicks long now. Right to the square. Northeast. Got rid of his opponent too easily, but he's been penalised. He was on Neiman. He's explaining to Craig Doddridge.
He's pointing to the big screen.
That
Have
they
a
had
look at this, ump.
had hold of each other,
Yeah,
and I think he's got a fair case.
What, you got to be kidding.
What do you reckon happened there, David?
I think they both back, and to be honest, I think Paul lost his footing, and they went down. I wouldn't have played a free kick, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't grabbed like he was indicating to the umpire.
Yeah, but there was no free kick, was there?
No, I don't think so.
Well, David Neiman's got an opportunity, though. You've got to take opportunities and kick goals. He's got that now. Very tight angle. Only about 25 out. Kicked it well. Played up forward a lot in his earlier career, and he's kicked his first for tonight. Moves the Eagles further ahead. They go 12 points ahead. 9-5, 59. Port Adelaide 7-5, 47.
Well, you tell me, Look, here comes the ball. There's a little bit of jostling here. Just a little bit of manhandling. Now, he grabs his, nothing much in that. Neiman comes back. North East takes front position. They both... Now, where's the free?
It was a little bit out of focus in that first part, but you saw North East actually grab him and pull him around.
But what are we playing? Basketball.
Oh, David. It's only early in the season. 7-5-47. The Eagles 9-5-59. Again, good bounce. Biglan's. Chalmers just left it alone. Again, they go for that. Beveridge has been on everything. Cross to Pearce. Pearce is a high ball up there. McCarthy. Look at the Orban, Allen. Skyrocket Allen. Just flies.
Trademark. Absolute trademark. And unassisted jump. And hang time was 9.5 seconds. It's just unassisted jump. He's incredible.
Clayton. Good placement. Problems he can't find his player. Good work there by Bigland. He just reads it better. Gets back, gets the head around. Got to play short.
You know, if Wren's the key to the Crows, I reckon Bigland's might just be this year the key to the Eagles.
True. Up high. Taken on the back by McCartney. McCartney can see a player moving. Just chips it across now. Where's Kluzak? He's just run over the top of it. Ball comes back to Polton. Polton comes wider still. Should go over the top. That's Fraser. Try to find Stengline. Couldn't. Colville now needs support. He does through Ugritic. Players just mishandling, but Ugritic holds his ground, holds the football, goes to the top of the square with a beautiful kick. And McCartney takes a mark. He's kicked one in that second quarter. He'll line up for his second.
3 times the Eagles have been caught deep in that pocket. 3 times they've brought it back, and 3 times they've kicked goals. McCarthy just tested by Chalmers, but was never going to be caught wanting.
Yeah, it's good to see the half-back line have come down just to acknowledge the work done there by their forward and midfield players. Just patting each other on the back. Just trying to give some confidence. Players that have been down in that first half. McCartney will line up. He's 25 metres out, virtually directly in front. Again, he gets very close to that man on the mark. But again, like the second quarter, he kicks his second goal.
You know, when you recruit a 31-year-old like the Eagles did last year out of Tasmania, you just go, well, where are they heading? But he has been a terrific recruit. I think he'll give them this year. He certainly gave them a good season last year, McCarthy. He ended up playing, I think, 19 games, kicking 8 goals, and he was tough in the clinches. And I think this year, staying fit, he's going to be an important player again. And even at his age of 32, I think they've got another 2 or 3 years in him.
The goal was all Uriganek, though his efforts down here in the pocket were fantastic.
Yep.
Back in the centre of the ground. 8 minutes into the third term. Chalmers, big knock out of the centre square. Taking it well was Hahn. Pearce crumbed it well to Gallagher. They win it out of the centre contest to the forward line. Might have been a bit of infringement that time. Let go. Archie tried to squeeze it out. Carter got his head over the football. Taken high by Colville.
He didn't duck, he was down, and I reckon that's fair enough. You've got to protect the bloke going for the ball anyway. He didn't duck, he was down.
So Carter's got hold of it now. Pass is good to Chalmers. Half-back flank, Magpies haven't penetrated. I think the Eagles have kicked 6 in a row now against them. They need to answer quickly. Spall away. Phil McGuinness. Good attack. Tackled well by Cicolella. Keeps it on in front of him. Hands over the top to Polton was good. Left foot punching pass, but look at the effort by Jamie Tate to get in front. Could have nearly been paid that. Binky squeezed the handball to Holland.
Too high.
Rogers, play's being allowed to go on. It's good umpiring. Pearce, little short pass. Over the top, Orman Allen. Crumb beautifully by Polton. You can feel some urgency here from the Magpies. Tregenza to Fraser. Hits the square long. Being shepherded out was Binky. But Tate did it well.
And Fruin has really done a job on Binky tonight, Mark, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Been some great contests, some great clashes out there. We see the Eagles. The Magpies just realising the next goal is very important. They can't let the Eagles get it. Oh, great work by Carter. Colville was in front. Coming from behind with a fly again was Beveridge. Magpies hold possession. Again, Tregenza. This could be a 40-plus possession game if he keeps it up. Oh, good lead, good mark out front. And also good pressure from Hall from behind. But to Smith's credit, he's kicked 4.
They've read him tough in Whyalla. Hall has given him everything. Given him a belting, has worn him like a glove, flown with him. This fellow's been very impressive, and he's kicked straight. His accuracy's been good, 4 straight from 5 kicks. And his 5th kick, by the way, just missed. It was sort of a little grubber across the face of goal.
Very impressed with Carter's work then. That was a vital mark he had to take, and Steed's pass was pinpoint.
So Smith, 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Inside 50. Good support for the first game of the season. Oh, that kick is beautiful. Good. That is beautiful. Timing, the release, the follow through, just perfect.
Well, he's running at a 5 goal a game average.
How'd you work that out,
That's a bit of work by Carter, by the way. Glad they've got that for us, because that was a turning point. You're 100% right. There's defining moments, and that goal was Carter's. If your critics set up the other goal at that end, Carter set this one up.
Binky's been taken off, fellas, and Brosnan's come back on for his second run of the night.
At the 10-minute mark, very important now. The Magpies finally got a goal back. 10 goals 5 to 8 goals 5, 2-goal margin now. Hahn, quick kick out of the pack. Brosnan overrun it. Steed, good hands into Tregenza, running through the centre of the ground. He's got to be able to finish these things. He does. Very good goal to Tregenza. That is his first. He's had a sterling night tonight.
Well, 20 kicks, 7 handballs, 1 goal, 1. I don't know that you'll see a better 2.5 quarters of football. He's just run and run and run. He's hit the target. He's hit the full forward once for a goal. He's kicked 1 himself, and really he has dominated off his wing.
Well, he's not playing in the wing tonight. He's been in the centre of the ground for all evening.
But he runs wide is the point, coming off that wing. But that's just incredible, isn't it?
So the Magpies are back in it.
You confused me there, David. Where's he playing?
No, he's playing centre.
He's
That's
playing
what I thought. Okay, the ball's down. 59 plays 65. 6-point ball game. It's out. It's a chance here. Oh, over the top. The umpire's called that one. The Eagles player is picked up and dumped. To his credit, he's got to his feet very quickly. Number 24, David Newitt. Newitt goes wide to Colville. Colville comes in board with a kick. Where's the Flyers? Going back. Great courage and commitment was Chalmers. Gets to his feet. Oh, quick chip wide to Archie. Archie's got the runner and Steed. It's not Steed, it's Jared Poulton. Poulton releases the kick. It goes up towards Brosnan. He's got a yard on tape. Takes it out front. Needs to get the ball in quickly. 1-on-1, the Magpies are good. It's low, it's direct. It's headed up home towards Smith again. He couldn't take this one. Hall's done well. Comes out on top. Across to Rogers. Rogers just chips it out. He's got the player moving wide. Should take it this time. He does in Beveridge.
Now, Beveridge has taken out a couple of Port Adelaide players, and Carter's there just saying, I'm coming for you. Interesting mind game, isn't it?
Trent Orman-Allen out in front, tried to go the spoil. McCarthy read it well, slipped over, regained his feeding. Tries to centre it. Again, disciplined. Manfield, quick hands to Colville. Again, better hands to Fruin. Out the back.
Set up.
Send Kluzak to Dillon. Dillon, snap it, goal. Might have just hooked it a little bit too far. Registers a point for the Eagles. And they move to 7 points in front. 10-6. Plays 9-5.
Jason Dillon would have a few mates at Port Adelaide, Tim?
Absolutely. Played quite a few years there before moving to the Eagles. Was it 2 seasons ago? He's done well.
Ball comes wide. Orman-Allen just takes it. Stand the mark. David Neiman. Brosnan gives him a lead. He just hangs on with the football, looking for something to be created.
Maybe he thought the siren went.
It's high. The Flyers are there. Good work by Fruin from behind. Just brings it to the ground. Great work. Is that the Iceman?
Yep.
He's out there again.
Yep.
Oh, Steve, quick hands. McGuinness realised he can't go anywhere. The kick was in the right spot. Just the old captain, and Andrew Rogers has read it beautifully.
Finds his target again. It's Gallagher on his left foot. Chips, puts Pearce under a little bit of pressure. Pearce stands his ground, takes it.
I thought Fraser did well just to force him to the ground and slow it all down.
Pearce moves back now, looking for targets. Kicks as long as he can. Looking for McCarthy. Plenty of players spoiled away. Crumbs now. Important. McGuinness's beautiful hands to Carter. Just gets it out enough to find Hahn. Hahn running through the centre of the ground. Smith on a lead, will attack it hard. Bounces over the top, Rogers reads the ball well. Plenty of air in that one, and Tate will have a easy chest mark in the end. At half-back flank, they've got players in the centre of the ground on their own here, the Eagles. Newitt. He goes for another little chip pass, finding Gallagher.
I reckon the Eagles have straightened up a little bit, Tim. They're not playing so wide. I reckon that's one of the reasons they've scored pretty well.
Centre half forward for the Eagles. It's spoiled away. McGuinness crumbed it. Couldn't continue to take the ball. Manfield did well to get it off him. It's Beveridge. Hooks around his body. That didn't look good. In fact, it's not good. It's hit Dillon in the head. Bounced off, found Clayton, and he's going to go long to the wing position.
Bigland should take this, he does. Big Brown. I don't know where Brown's playing. I think he's just maybe out of a pocket. I'm trying to think who's picking him up. Over the top, Fruin. The chance here. Fury Grinick, if he can just pick it and go with it. He can't pick it up. He's fumbling it again. You've got to pick it up, fella. He does. He needs to be in the contest. Second, third effort. 38 sting lines in there. Just quite happy just to hold it up.
You just look at those one-on-one contests, and if you can hold it in and nobody wins, it's actually not. Both coaches are happy.
The big ruckman come over. 35 is Brosnan. Biglands is in there as well. McGuinness is getting some important touches. Brosnan just chips this one out. The Iceman takes it. He'll go to the top of the square. That's the direction he's heading for. Again, good work from behind by Hall. That has been a contest and a half tonight. Oh, Fruin just chips it out. Toe pokes it. Again, we see Hall, this time in front. Just hits it for the boundary line. He finds it. And again, we'll see a ball thrown in. Forward pocket for the Magpies. It's 59, play 66.
Forward pocket throw in. Over the back of the pack. Hahn, been busy. Hall takes it over the boundary line, or does he? Yes. Very happy to see that. The defender's best friend.
I tell you what, he hasn't done a bad job on Smith, and Smith has kicked 5 goals. It's an interesting. I think there's a new star on the horizon.
Been a good battle, but Smith's made the most of his opportunities, and that's what you've got to do it full forward. The Eagles' defence runs it away too easily. And look at Dillon go. He is very quick. He's had 3 or 4 bounces now. Kicks it long inside the 50. Trent Orman-Allen will get a jump at it. That's enough to spoil it. Colville on the deck, tried to tap it forward. Holton through the legs. Northeast works it to the line. Holton should take it over. He's dodged 2, tried to squeeze a kick out, and that's what happens. You saw Hall up the other end do the exact thing, took it over the boundary line.
I mean, Northeast went for the boundary line. Polton should have just made sure it went out. He kept it in.
Old heads. Rogers, chip pass.
How do you buy experience though, Tim?
No, you don't. Simple as that. You're right, David. Biglands inside the 50. Tried to squeeze a pass, but Tyson Stengline, very good hands. A lot of courage shown. Brosnan works it out to Stengline again. He's come at the wing position. Fraser will do battle here. He's in front. Spoiled away by Beveridge. Oh. Great work that was by Tate. And they are after. Hang on.
Up came the elbow.
He's just lifted his arm. Cop Fraser, so Fraser will take the free kick, centre wing.
Oh, Beveridge, he's got to ruffle a few feathers this year.
Oh, yeah.
He's ruffled a few Maggies tonight. In there, Dutchy Holland, cross to Fruin. Fruin just chips it down the line, finds Tape. Is it out of bounds? Is it? It isn't. The umpire has paid the mark. Or what? What's it here?
The ball's flat. The ball went flat. The ball went flat.
So quick work. The umpire just sits and comes back. Goes back 15. Will he go any direction now? He's got Holland running for him. Brown's still there. Giving a big target up forward again. Holland 1-2 bounces. Now releases the football. Slow and it's direct. It's only gone as far as Chalmers. So nearly 20-minute mark of this third quarter. Eagles just hanging on to that 7-point margin.
Oh, Beveridge again.
Hey, don't worry. They breed them tough in Tasmania. Remember when Danny Holm came to Central? We thought, oh, nice old thug. They just breed them tough down there.
Back at the pack, Colville. Tackled by Trent Orman-Allen, and that is too high, actually.
No, he ducked. And that's a good decision by the umpire.
All right, I'll have a look at it again, see if I agree with you or not.
I don't, David. That's too high.
Yeah. He collapsed.
No, he didn't.
Okay, Carter. Moves the ball to centre wing. We'll find Paul.
Footy's a great game, isn't it? You can disagree.
Settle down, you two. Carter. And it's a very close contest here tonight. It's been a great game. Centre half forward. Ball comes over the back of the pack. Picked up Ugrinic. Left foot kick. Long. Archie has to back onto it. Good work by Kluzak. Trying to find Manfield. He doubles around. Off the side of the boot. Should go to Port Adelaide's advantage. McGuinness couldn't quite get hold of it. Knew it on hands and knees. Tried to get it up. Carter crashes his way through. Important little possession there to McGuinness. Off the deck, they're forcing it into their forward line. Tape will keep at it. The Holland has been a good move him down there. Left foot now. Tregenza will have to hold his ground. He does. Good effort by Pearce to spoil away, and the Eagles take it over the boundary line. It's been a great contest so far, and it's still the Eagles by 7 points.
Now, Niles, you're a bit of a website buff.
Are you kidding?
Tell us how we do that.
I'm going to have to get you to work with our day. What's all these dots and
local.abc.net.au/SA footy. That's your footing tipping contest.
I struggle to cook toast in the morning, David. We're back with the game. Here we go. Steed just punches the ball high. The fight's on again. Smith and Hall. Hall gets his fist to the football again. Another behind. So 60 now plays 66. It's a 1-goal game and really has for nearly 3 quarters. It's been a fantastic contest.
Well, it's been an arm wrestle by both sides and an arm wrestle by Philip Smith at full forward and Hall at full back. Cigalella's preparing to come back on. I think he had an injury treated. And he's preparing to come back on.
Tape out of full back. Long kick towards Neiman. Important little quick kick by McGuinness. Rogers, good hands. Does it so well. Gallagher's going to wind himself into trouble, but gets out of it. Fruin. Tape under pressure. And you just got to keep at him and at him and at him, and that's what Port Adelaide did in that contest and forced the mistake.
Nothing else you can do here. He's gone for the line. He's just hit the ball a bit too well. He meant to grab it and didn't.
Tregenza, yet another touch. Up towards centre half forward. Holland roves it well. Goes in the centre of the ground. Polton will sprawl. Pearce grabs it and runs straight into his opponent. Tregenza's gone down. I think he's copped Pearce's head. I think they had a clash of heads. Cigalella, little left foot, squeezes that out to Jurgenik.
Here it is, Tim.
It's going to be a blow for the Magpies because Tregenza has been playing well. What a grab.
Kluzak.
One-on-one contest, not Kluzak. It's going to be, no, that's Manfield.
Manfield.
And he'll take the mark and kick from about 25 metres dead in front.
So I reckon you were right, Tim. I reckon they're rotating their rovers off the bench, the Eagles.
Young Gallagher, but that's a blow to Tregenza. In comes Manfield, important kick. Is he up to it? He is. That's his second goal. And the Eagles get a little bit of a breather. 11 goals, 6, 72. Lead the Magpies 9-6, 60.
24 minutes into the third quarter. Well, it wasn't a bad old bump. This was it. They actually played Maoris. They rubbed noses.
Oh, cheekbone, yes.
Yeah. Now, let's hope out of that there's no serious injury, because they can be a lot more severe than they look.
So another goal of the Eagles. That's their 11th for the game. They're 11-6, 72. The Magpies 9-6, 60. A 12-point margin. Favouring the boys from Woodville Oval. The ball will be down again. It's a high one. Looks like Fruin's gone in. Number 2 and Neiman's gone in for a run now. The ruck did well in that second quarter. Lachlan just takes a fingertipper, one-hander. Gets the ball up, moving quickly up forward again. Smith going back. Great courage was Fruin. Comes to ground. Fraser out to Clayton. Clayton over his right shoulder. How far has he brought it back? Nowhere near enough. It's out of bounds on the full.
Interesting, since Brown's gone to centre half forward, Tim. I think Port Adelaide have just looked a little bit more systematic in their forward line. Binky was well beaten by Fruin, but Brown is at least breaking even.
You need a tall target at centre half forward to go through. And he'll provide a contest. Holland in the back pocket. Goes long, good grab by Chalmers. Going to be such an acquisition to the Magpies this season. He's there all year. kicks long as he can. Up in front, McGuinness tried to make a contest of it. Stenglein grabs hold of the crumbs, well tackled by Jurgenik. Brosnan forces his way through, looking for someone to give off to. Found no targets. Shirley over the top of it with courage. Kept his eye on the football, squeezed his little kick out to Dillon. Oh, and he's overrun it. He had a paddock in front of him. Oh, and wrapped up in a beautiful tackle by Ricky O'Loughlin, and should be penalised and is. So things go from bad to worse sometimes, don't they?
Well, I think Ricky O'Loughlin just pulled him in like a sheepdog. Just.
Oh, good pass. I don't think it's going to be paid. And
yes,
it is. Saw Smith turn around there. He wasn't sure. That was seconds in that one. This is a valuable kick for Phil Smith now. Because I tell you what, he just took the grab, whether it was just before the siren or just on, David, I'm not sure.
Well, it doesn't matter. The umpire said he took it before he signalled time off, and that's all that counts when it's all said and done. I remember a night grand final in the AFL was won the same way.
Very important here, Phil Smith. Dead in front. He's been very accurate tonight. 5 goals on the board. Can he make it 6?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Great kick.
Just beautiful.
Very important kick for the Magpies. Gets them within 6 points. At the end of the third term, the Eagles lead 11-6-72. The Magpies 10-6-66. And you're viewing season 2000 of the SNFL on ABC Sport.
Start of the final quarter here, round 1, SNFL football. We see the Magpies 10-6-66, the Eagles 11-6-72. Great contest so far for 3 quarters. We see the Eagles going forward once again. Good chip out wide. Ciccarello just going past again for the handball. He does, he gets it back. As a player up forward loose in Colville, you can't give him too much space. He trips over. Makes a mistake, then gets up quickly, heads to the top of the square. Where's the flyer? They're out in front. McCartney, he had the jump, had the hands there, just couldn't bring it to ground. 47 for the Eagles, working hard was Gallagher. He's back on it. A bit of a rest there in that third quarter. Coming through tough. Polton up over the top. The handball was smothered. Orman Allen will be taken by 3 players. Goes towards the boundary line. Neiman tries to bring it back in. Couldn't quite. The ball's out of bounds. That player there on screen, fellas, Tregenza, whose first 3 quarters, David, has been sensational.
28 possessions, not a bad effort, is it, to 3/4 time? He'll finish probably 30-odd possessions.
Carter with the ball, tries to squeeze it out. McGuinness, time to poise, pass, finds Stenglein. Stenglein with the ball out of centre wing. Long kick towards centre half forward. Up in the air goes Brosnan, didn't quite hold it. Tate roved it well. Off the side of the boot, hits Dillon on the chest. Dillon, good vision. Finds Colville's loose. He's had a lot of space. Runs with the ball, 60 metres out. Tries to go to the square, just being touched. Northeast and allows Archie to run it over the line for another point to the Eagles. And they're 7 points in front of the Magpies.
Promising sign, isn't it? Colville was inside the 50 square when he took it. Backed himself in, and from 60 still had the confidence to think that he could kick it. Now he didn't, but it is a good sign that the Eagles are prepared to back themselves in.
Archie, the long left leg outside 50, coming across hard there. Couldn't quite take it with Chalmers. Again Colville in the action. Jared Polton takes it, thumps the ball up towards an R4. The push was there, no it wasn't. Umpire calls play on. High kick again by Tate. Sets up Clayton from behind. Beveridge knocks it to the ground. Out of bounds. Umpire will throw it back in. We played 2 minutes into this last quarter. The Eagles just hanging on to that 7-point margin.
Andrew Beveridge has certainly upset a few tonight and has shown enough to suggest that he's going to be a fair recruit for the Eagles.
McGuinness, quick kick out of the pack. Got to be Scotty Hahn onto it first. He's tackled well by Dillon. Might have just beat both of them over the boundary line. We'll have another throw in as those two have a little bit of a kitten wrestle on the ground.
Phil McGuinness, fellas, 18 kicks, 6 handballs. He's finding a fair bit of the ball as well.
Continuing his good form from last season. Brown works his way in front of Biglands. Over the top of McGuinness, he squeezes another one out. Looking for O'Loughlin, who's going to get onto it first. Does it well, Ricky. Inside, double back. Kick off the side of the boot, could fall in the arms. Oh, Tate, that's courage.
got one.
And he probably deserved a free kick and or mark for his efforts.
Well, Brown is off. Binky comes back on. They're just rotating their forward structure. But Tape showed great courage. He called it pretty well. And I think he's winded.
Fellas. No, I think it's a knee.
Oh,
not a bad knee. I think he just clashed knees as they went up.
let's hope not.
It's in the air. Oh, it's the back of it.
Corky.
See? Maybe a corky as well.
Did see a bit of movement there, though, didn't you?
It was out. It was extended. But the stretcher will come out.
Well, he's played pretty
Eventually.
well. The stats.
Maybe winded.
Just got an elbow. Yeah, there's just a little elbow that's just the right elbow of Stingline has just gone into perhaps his kidney region. Perhaps it's winded him in the breadbasket.
He's up and walking around, so that's a good sign.
Well, they've just got to give the kick.
Chest.
They've just got to give the ball to somebody else. I reckon he might be winded or.
Well, you're one player down, Dave, especially in the back half.
Well, they may as well get him off.
He'll have to come off.
Truly, I mean, get him off, get him right.
Move him off quickly.
Get him back on.
Play will go on. Up to the centre wing. O'Loughlin takes a very good grab.
They're a man down right now.
Yep. Should have come straight off your right, David. Long goes O'Loughlin. Looking for Brosnan. Tried to get his hands on it. Smith does the roving. Leaves it for McGuinness, though. The smaller player around his body. Tried to squeeze it through. He hasn't. Yeah. Just gone to the left of the goal. Another point.
Should have cost the Eagles a goal, that. They're just, Tape could have been in the hole. Now, they've either got to get him right or get him straight off. There's just no in-between on that one.
Either that or a player from the forward half has to come down just to fill up that hole for the time being.
Maybe so, but either way, he's either got to be right or get him off.
Again, they persist with the huddle. They break. The player's not used. This time he does. Pearce just found a bit of space on Clayton. They've got Dillon down the line. And they need to move into this wing area. Too many ones-on-one. Bigland realised they need a bit of height, so he's running into that zone. The kick will be high. Give Biglands the chance to jump at it. He'll go with Binky. Binky takes the front position. Did that well. Steed's at ground level. Oh, the umpire thought about it. On Steed, decides to throw it up.
Interesting thing about that, you know, when Steed took the ball, Holland was right on his hammer, clamped him up and kept the ball in. It's been a pretty good move by Paul Hamilton to put Holland into the back pocket. It's worked.
Steed again trying to get at it. Binky tapped over the boundary line by Biglands.
How do you rate Bigland's game, Tim?
Pretty good tonight, I think. Pretty mobile. Probably Chalmers got on top of him a little bit as the game was swinging, but it's been a fair first up effort. Again, another contest. Steed traps it this time. Good hands to Hahn. Hahn a quick kick around his body. In front is Fraser. O'Loughlin roving. A good work by Fruin to take it over the boundary line.
Fruin, best defender for the Eagles tonight.
Yeah, you'd have to say that. He's been very good. I've liked Hall's game, although look at Smith, he's had six.
6 to 3/4 time.
Hall's been very competitive. But no, Fruin's just been tight, tough, spoiled every occasion.
Just wonder whether perhaps a Fruin-Hall switch mightn't have been beneficial. You know, after he kicked 4 or 5. Just a change of...
Well, I just think Fruin's a bit more athletic, and he runs off from that half-back line very well.
One thing the Eagles have been, though, stable, and I guess it's part of backing your players. That's a free. Unintentional, but a free nonetheless. But I reckon that maybe is one of the strengths of the Eagles. They do back their players.
Now he needs to change direction here. They've got no one down this wing other than a big ruckman, the name of Brett Chalmers, who will gobble this up if it's kicked to him. So he decides to go through the middle of the ground. That's a good kick there by the big fella on Biglands. As a carry to Gallagher it has. He just needs to knock the ball out to Ugritic. He takes it. Now sits upon it. A little bit of a blue out here also with Colville on the wing. I don't know who he's got down. I think it could be O'Loughlin. Across the throat. Clayton comes into assist. We'll get back to the football. Ball's thrown out. Again, McGuinness gives it back. Couldn't quite take it. Was the Iceman. Now he's held up. That maybe could have been holding the football. The umpire intelligently keeps the ball moving. They've done it so well tonight. Binky comes up with it. Around his body. It's a high ball. Which way was bounced? It bounces in direction to favour the Magpies. So that's a goal. We're back, I think, fellas. 67 played 73 before that goal was kicked. That's Binky's second. The scores are locked away.
11-7 doesn't get much more even than this. 8 minutes into the final term. All players misjudged it. It was interesting. It's very rare that 3 players sitting underneath the ball misjudge it by so much. and Binky was the beneficiary.
Well, the two defenders stayed with Fraser, which maybe one could have gone back and maybe one forward, but in the end, I think you're right, David, everybody just misjudged it, but there was 2 or 3 minutes of just of a lull in the game there, and Port Adelaide cracked it open with a goal.
Well, Fruin's just coming on as 19 as Ray. Is it the blood rule? Could possibly be. Looks like it is. Got a bit of blood down his arm there.
So 8.5 minutes into the last term here, round 1, Eagles versus the Magpies. It's locked away at 73 apiece. Out of the middle goes Cicolella on his left foot. Just doesn't quite carry to Manfield. It's going to be Polton doing the cleaning up in the back half. He finds Stenglein.
He's been good since he's come on, Tim.
Long handball to Tregenza. Probably BOG. O'Loughlin dances around this one and that one. Ends up with Tregenza. Nice little chip. Stenglein does the roving, keeps it in, or did he? Or kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Just give him a wrap. Well, there's plenty of game left, and you couldn't pick a winner this far out.
Well, the 9.5 minute mark, we see the Magpies 11-7-73. The Eagles locked away at 11-7-73 as well. Tate takes the bounce. The umpire has found something behind here. He's just seen a bit of pushing and shoving. McCartney may have given the free kick away. I think he has on Binky. They could give away 25 metres here or a 50 if he doesn't come back on the mark. So neither player can work out whose free kick it is.
I think McCarthy thought it was his and Binky thought it was his.
Well, he must have seen something in it. It looked like a couple of players just really just a bit of pushing and shoving. It was all drilling in it. Tregenza again, been outstanding tonight. Now that's a good kick. Oh, he's made a mistake, Smith. Missed one he should have taken. Over the top there is O'Loughlin. He's been pretty good tonight as well. It's a high ball. McCartney, Gallagher. It'll be Carter and Gallagher. Carter comes out once again, just too strong, too much experience.
Carter again with the ball, up towards centre half forward. In front, Brosnan needs to take it and does.
Oh, that was a very clever mark. 2 bites of the cherry, but he took front position, lost his balance, got a hand to it, and then had the balance and the strength just to come back for a second bite at it.
I've just sensed, fellas, that maybe at the stand of the play, but the ball is just getting a little bit tired. They're not quite getting to the contest. They're not quite jumping as high as what they were.
See, I think they're
in
entitled.
that first half. But
they're
round one,
to, aren't they?
round one, a hot night is to be expected.
Here comes Brosnan, 50 out. Just got too close to the man on the mark and ended up hooking his kick. Registers a point for Port Adelaide, but that's enough to put him in front. 11 goals, 8-74. The Eagles 11-7-73. 1 point margin. 11.5 minutes into the last term here at Football Park.
This the side that's going to win, frankly, is the side that finds some intensity from here, because they're all gone on their feet, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a lot out there that are. They've done a lot of work, especially the Eagles midfield. They really have done a lot of running out there tonight. It's a high ball, be punched back, good discipline. O'Loughlin, I've liked his game. Kicks it high, going back. Just voice, just the presence of Andrew Rogers, the captain. You knows these players around him. Just let him go for it by himself. Comes in board to Pearce. Very important. Just flips it away to Tate. Tate goes for the long handball to Dutchy Holland. Holland has time now just to set this up. He has to hit a target. He does that. Good kick. Good mark out front taken by Manfield. Manfield, one-on-one up forward. He needs to get it in. You can't hesitate, fellas. Just got to get it in there. Just bomb it now. The holes have been filled. Good lead inside. This time he goes high. Takes my advice. High line. Where's Ray? Just didn't present himself. A bit of luck here may favour the Eagles. Handball back. Number 10 is Beveridge around his body. How has he taken it? He hasn't. It's gone too wide. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Oh, McCartney.
He's not happy. I don't know.
Too happy.
I'm not sure whether that was a disciplinary measure for giving away the free kick on the far side, which turned the ball over for the Eagles, or whether the coach just thought he needed some fresh legs. Just depends what he says to the player bringing him off.
Ray's given away a free kick here to Archie. Just got him high.
Well, he's involved in the game, isn't he? He's got to get involved in the game.
Archie goes long with his left foot. Stenglein from behind, spoils away from Ugranic, who'd won front position pretty well.
Stenglein looks in physically good shape, Tim.
Oh, he's a young lad, 20 years of age, and well, if you can't look in good shape when you're 20, you're going rough, ain't you? Chalmers tries to do the ruck work. Hahn lost his footing. Got to keep your feet here when you get tired. Good work by Pearce to Sicolella. Open goal, square. Ooh, it was an important kick. It ties away the scores, but it just shows the tired legs of both sides now. Locked away at 11-8 apiece.
3 goals, 1 to Sicolella from 18 kicks, 2 handballs. Now, he'd feature it, would he not, amongst the best players?
Without a doubt. Archie with his long left foot, squeezing out towards the boundary line. Up goes Orman Allen, as he always does. High, recovers well, takes a bounce. The blonde streak out to Clayton.
Gee, Bigland's yard of pace there. Unlucky not to take it.
Didn't do well. Clayton span out. Now goes long to the square. Rosman's got the jump if he can get there first. Doesn't quite hold on to it. Good hands by Smith to squeeze it out. Gives another opportunity. Rosman just couldn't quite get his hand to ball. Tackled well. Out in front, Steve. Feeds it to Clayton on his left foot.
Tate.
Smothered. Desperate to stuff by the defence of the Eagles. Up in the air. Bad effort there, and it's been paid for. Fraser gets the goal for the Magpies. An all-important one.
And I tell you, I'll put that one down to persistence. Trent Orman-Allen in the back pocket, came down, even applied the shepherd to allow Clayton through. Clayton came down and put the kick, and really, the smother was very, very good. Dillon was up and didn't just get to the contest, but didn't he pay for it. Fraser really made him pay a heavy price.
It's a high floating ball, favoured by the bounce. That's all it was, David. That ball could have gone anywhere. As it was, it just landed in Fraser's hands. He had a clear vision of goal. So we're back. The Magpies lead by 6 points. 12-8, 11-8. Ball's down. Biglands has been good tonight. So has Chalmers. In fact, most of these players tonight, they've done something, have contributed at some stage throughout the game. Try getting through there. Looked like Northeast. It was. Coming up with it again was Gallagher. He's starting to run out of legs. Coming back again to Pearce. Pearce docks and weaves one. Then releases the football high. Out front, number 2 was Neiman. Again, we see Poulton. He's had a big pre-season with the power. Coming across as Ray again, gives away a mistake. He didn't. The umpires missed that. Back up to Dillon. Dillon heads to the top of the square again. Good discipline. Coming through again was Ray. And down there is Trent Orman-Allen. Through there hard was Carter. Carter can't get the ball out. Also throwing himself on top of the football there was Chalmers. What a contest. What a game of football.
Who was saying the intensity had fallen off?
I did.
What about this?
It was hot. It was hot.
Well,
I think my intensity has dropped off.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I think a goal does that, though, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Biglands knocks the ball into the corridor. Sensible stuff. Pearce. Look as it tack on it. Straight through. Well done, both players. Carter tries to push it forward. Colville's onto it. Good work by O'Loughlin out of the air. And how clever is that? Did he mean it? I'll give it to him. Over to Tregenza.
Pearce is hurt behind play for the Eagles.
To Steed. Long to centre half forward.
And untape.
Rogers will do well, but Brosnan crashes through. Persistence by Fraser on tape.
Rubbish! Umpire, absolute rubbish. The same thing was happening all night. That is not this stage of the game. You don't make decisions like that.
Fraser goes long to an open goal square, and it's a goal. Very costly one. Mark Nayley has turned his microphone off and walked out of the stadium. Disgusted with that decision.
It is an interesting one, isn't it? Because I guess you could argue that the ball was broken loose in the tackle.
Well,
the umpire would argue that he made no attempt to get rid of it.
David, I kept the call going because I thought it was play on.
Yeah, look, I guess I'm with you, and I probably am with Mark. It is unfortunate when the outcome of a game.
It was a great tackle, no doubt.
It was a good tackle.
There was no chance for tape
to
get rid of it.
No prior opportunity. I guess that is the rule, and I think on that score, Mark will go with you.
Well,
he's back.
13-8, 11-8, now 12 points. O'Loughlin goes again. Eagles players, they've got a lift now. Again, we're back with tape. He's got no one down the wing. He comes back, straightens his body up, now finds Colville. Done well tonight, Colville. The player out wide, looks like Beveridge. He can chip one across here short if he wishes. He does, and he backs himself. Thumps the ball up towards half full. It's a great kick. Pearce is coming out. The ball had to be marked there. It wasn't by Manfield. Butters up again. Pearce working very, very hard at ground level. Chips the ball out. Which way will this one bounce? It goes over the top. Dillon's kept the football in. Now it's out of bounds. Ball be thrown in. Grandstand side. We played nearly 18 minutes into this last quarter. The Maggies by 12 points.
Fast twitch fibres of your Grinick are just getting a bit of a warm-up. ready to come back on.
Thrown in, half-forward flank for the Eagles, squeezed out by Manfield. First on it, though, is Trent Allen. Goes for the safety of the line and achieves it.
His last quarter's been very good.
Has been indeed. 12-point margin to the Magpies. And
Someone calling the umpire a cheat?
I believe somebody did third.
What about the return call? Who called the cheated umpire?
Up goes Allen to try to reset at the half-forward flank of the Eagles in attack. They're 12 points behind. There's still time.
It's great to have footy back, isn't it?
Yeah. And you get a little bit of everything, don't you? 18.5 minutes in. Still time for the Eagles to get back in it. It's only 2 goals. Sigalella somehow gets a kick out. It's a good grab taken by Newitt. Newitt squeezed his kick towards the top of the square. They've been doing it all night, discipline, but Carter, his one-on-ones, he's absolutely destroyed his opponents. Onto Tregenza, up towards the wing position. Tape over the top to Ray, Tape again. Long handball finds Pearce. He's been an absolute workhorse tonight. Got his kick smothered by Tregenza, who's had a great night. McGuinness squeezes another one out. Binky drops the chest mark. Now trying to get it up off the deck.
Holding the ball.
Too much pressure. Umpire Nailey makes a decision.
Well, it's the same thing. He was tackled and he dropped it. What is it?
I'm going to give you a whistle.
Yeah, give me a whistle.
Actually, our videotape guy thought maybe that there was a push in the face on that other one down the far end.
Oh, yeah.
But who knows? Look, without a clear...
So at the 20-minute mark, fellas, we see 13-8-86 the Maggies. They still lead the Eagles. They're on 11-8-74. And what a game of football we've witnessed tonight. It's down. Hall dives over the top. The kick forward by the big fella again, and Smith just couldn't quite find it. He kicked the point from that angle. Did well.
Drag him off. 6 straight before that. Hasn't he been impressive tonight? The big recruit from Whyalla, a year in the reserves last year to toughen him up. And Port Adelaide seemed to just find them at the right time. And Philip Smith is a name to be marked down. 6 goals, 1 on debut. As Hall brings the ball back from full-back for the Eagles. They need a couple of quick goals. Chalmers claimed by Pearson the tackle. We're almost 21 minutes into the final term. And it suits Port Adelaide to let it flare up here and get the Eagles' mind off the job, because they need to score 13 points, 2 goals, 1 to draw it, and time is running out. This is a very professional Port Adelaide lineup. They just get you into a position where they can win, and then they hold you off. Neiman thumps the ball wide. Alfie Steed goes after it. Good work, Sigalella. Steve played him in the tackle. Lachlan couldn't get through. Here comes Sigalella and Steed again. Good work crashing through Beveridge. Well, there's a fair bit of action off the ball. Mark Nailey likes it. McCarthy back on the ground, thumps that ball forward, and Ormond Allen carries it across the line. We're 21.5 minutes gone. Now, Nails, who did you tip in this match? Would you have gone into the web tipping competition and picked Port Adelaide? I guess you would.
Well, I would have. On their pre-season form has been outstanding. They've actually whipped sides by 10 and 15 goals, and we just see there. But it's a great opportunity this year.
local.abc.net.au/SA footy. Get your footing tips in, and if you're in the top 10 each week, we'll actually splash your name across our screen throughout our telecast. And remember, we're going at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoons, bringing you all the SANFL action.
It's back. Brett Fruin hasn't seen much of the footy, 5 and 8, but gee, he's been good back there. Very disciplined with his spoils. Players know where he's going. They know it's been punched back. Know they'll be clearing the contest. Maggie's still throwing themselves over this football. 17 is Feekert. He just tries to get past. 2 in there is Neiman. And this time the umpire is called holding the ball. I don't like that rule. Do not like it. Get rid of it tomorrow, please. It's going to frustrate me. It's going to have me sitting in, I reckon, Ashford Hospital within the month.
And a very good hospital it is. Neiman from half back. They need to find some urgency, the Eagles. They need 3 quick scores. Stengline flicks it out the best on ground, Tregenza. I think we're unanimous in that vote. And it's Chalmers who's played a marvellous cameo, particularly since half-time around the ground, marking and punching everything. Now he slows it down, drifts it wide. Brosnan sells the dummy beautifully. Swings onto the left and points it towards centre half forward. Underneath it, big pack. Binky caught underneath it. Clayton over the top of it, bustled by Dillon. Works hard for the contest, grabs the ball. And there's 4 players just collapsing. They're exhausted, these fellows. And what a grand occasion it's been. The opening round of the SANFL season. Last year's first place team against the side that finished third. Bang it through. It needs to be a goal. And he's taken all the time in the world. There just isn't enough time.
Well, John McCarthy really hasn't got time on his side. The clock is ticking down. It's 26.5 minutes. They're down by more than 2 kicks. Again, very, very close to the man on the mark. He's got 2 goals so far, and he hits the post. So they just need now, David, to take this next football, get it back in quickly inside 50 and kick a goal and get it back into the middle.
Well, just half might be a blessing. I mean, you got to say, that's an incredibly good kick from that angle. And by a hair's breadth, it just misses. So it's Archie, who's played a wonderful cameo at fullback. They've had a great full forward, Port Adelaide, and a very good fullback. Oh, that's deliberately out, and it'll be a free kick, no question. That's the way the umpire saw it as well. Knew it. The new recruit from Tasmania, Deneeman. He can make a hero of himself. He's up and didn't mark it. McGuinness. Well, he's played so very well tonight too, but that one's out of bounds on the full. So Port Adelaide just coming unstuck when they just seem to have it so tight.
So true. They get it back in again. They need a score off of this forward thrust. They won't get it from a kick like that. He's hurt himself also in the kick. So the Maggies, they'll take the points tonight to start their campaign for this year. In the back by Fruin. Hasn't made too many mistakes this year. The Iceman comes up with it. Has players moving wide, and Binky again tape back there, takes it, hits the ground, picks the footy up, keeps running, gets it back again from Shirley, laces the ball out wide to Beveridge. Beveridge just needs to get the ball in, needs to go over the top. He doesn't. He too, the kick's not good. It does favour the Eagles. Good work by Ciccarella. Ciccarella just lays it out. Ray comes out. What can he do this time? Gives away a free kick.
Sometimes you just have a dirty night. Carter really has cleaned up though. We talk about how good the Eagles were in defence at one end. Well, Carter has been extraordinary at the other. And so too's Archie at full back. Feagert has been good. So I guess in a nullifying fashion. Well, if Ciccarella's kicked 3, McCarthy's got 2, and Manfield's got a couple. The Eagles have been finding it difficult to score. Harner's off. Danny Morgan comes on for a run. And Trent Orman-Allen just distributes the ball. The North East's been very good too, hasn't he? He really conned Ray early, and now it's keepings off. This is just a training drill for the Port Adelaide side. Orman-Allen again. It's stats time. You just pick out your mate, Nails, kick it to him, and run down the clock.
Yeah, very professional outfit. Opportunity to get down to Albion Oval during the week, and they just see their complex now, the boys. Very impressive. So Corey Archie down the ground. Lovely left leg. Good mark. Taken by Jared Porton. Also just having a bit of a free run down forward. He'll go back, thump the ball back in, well inside 50. He's got a lead on from Smith. He looks for these full forward. That's good respect. He's kicked 6 tonight, Smith. The players still use him. Well, David, that's it. The opening game for season 2000. We see the Magpies have got up 13 goals, 987. The Eagles 11-9-75. And David, just a quick summary of some of your better players tonight.
Well, I thought Philip Smith on screen, but clearly Tregenza was best. But Philip Smith, number 2 for Port Adelaide, a new star in the making. 6 goals, 1 on debut against the state fullback. Chalmers on screen was particularly good. I thought Archie at fullback played a great game. Clayton was solid. I think Alfie Steed, number 9 in screen, was just courageous and strong. But I think clearly the best man on the ground was Tregenza. 26 kicks, 10 handballs, and incredible as we go down now with the best on ground with Tim Jennifer.
Yeah, thanks, David. I've got Simon Tregenza with me tonight. What a game in the middle. What were you doing in centre for starters?
Well, Brownie, unfortunately, David Brown, that is, had a bit of a hamstring trouble during the week, so I played in the trials a little bit in the middle, so when he pulled out, I sort of went in the middle. So.
Well, you won't come out in a hurry because you've had nearly 40 touches, mate, and a real good start of the season.
Yeah, well, I think Brownie might have something to say about that, but I mean, obviously we won tonight, I'm happy about that, and if whatever works out, as long as we're winning, that's the main thing.
Seen improvement in the Eagles. I thought they were very good tonight. Real good contest all round.
Oh, it was a really good game, actually. It was very tight, and they played extremely well, very physical, they matched us, and we'll sort of maybe even a little bit lucky to get over the line, but yeah, win's a win.
All the best for the rest of the season. Thank you, Simon Tregenza.
Thank you.